What have been some of the most shocking assumptions people have about you?
Was told I looked like a by a beautiful woman I was chatting casually with at a social gathering. I was 18 was soul crushing.
I used to teach at a local college and I was myself in my 20s, so I was probably one of the youngest faculty. I'm not very good looking, I keep to myself. I'm just tall and well built. Never had much attention from girls, and as faculty suddenly got a lot. Anyways, it's not like I was buddies with the students, but there was a lot of gossip about me. Once I found out a few rumors about me. All in one day. Apparently I am married, have 2 kids, cheated on my wife, and am currently engaged to another girl, but my wife refuses to move out. Oh, and there is a student who claims that during all this drama, she has been flirting with me. My life was that interesting. I've been single for at least 10 years.
That I'm unfriendly and unapproachable. I just got the dude version of a resting face is all. Even my wife says I look angry all the time.
People think I do hard drugs. But in reality I don't do and barely drink. Girls in college kept asking my friends if I was. I have no idea why. Also got with a friend and some of his pals, and one guy I'd never hung out with before said he always thought I was an but I'm pretty cool. It was a smallish school, so we saw each other on campus, and I guess my resting face made me look like. And then there was the guy who thought I was getting laid all the time. Forget his exact words, but I actually laughed in his face. It's been 6 years and I'm still a lol.
That I am actually a flaming heterosexual.
That I went to jail right after I graduated high school. I joined the military, and it was even announced at the graduation ceremony for HS lol.
I started shaving my head on deployment when we all shaved our heads. I liked it and kept going. I get a couple of people that think I'm a racist.
That I'm depressed. I'm rather quiet and usually have an emotionless face, which led to most of my high school teachers asking if I was feeling okay or if everything was alright at home. Unfortunately, that's just how I look.
That I'm confident and outgoing when actually I'm racked with self-doubt.
I made some new friends on my rugby team in high school. This one guy said, "It's nice we have some diversity in this group now." Asked what he was talking about, and he said, "Well, you're Asian, right?" I'm not Asian. Tears of joy.
In high school I was told a few times that they thought I was going to bring a school or shoot the place. Thing anyone ever said to me in high school that legitimately bothered me.
A friend of my wife's told me, "You know, I would have guessed you had pierced nipples," when their family came swimming with us and she saw me shirtless for the first time. I'm not really sure how to take that.
You're actually kinda handsome for a gamer. What did you think I looked like? Like my Discord profile pic of Shrek.
I had a therapist assume that, because I'm a man, I struggle with listening. I literally interview people for a living. If he had asked what I do for work at the beginning of our session, he would have learned very quickly that listening wasn't an issue for me. Man facepalming.
That I will him up because of my menacing face. Bro, I'm just.
That I'm a quiet person, but I'm not. I just don't know how to interact in a group. I'll talk all day one-on-one.
Apparently it catches people off guard when they find out that I'm actually somewhat articulate and that I am a great cook. I also had someone once comment on my tattoo of Edgar Allan Poe by saying to me, "You don't seem like someone who..."
At the end of high school it was people thinking that I am very short. I'm 5 feet 11, but the next shortest person in the group I tended to be around was 6 feet 2, working up to a solid 6 feet 6 inches at the upper end. So a lot of people always had the context of noticeably shorter, until I was around the not giants and they'd look at me and blurt out, "Wait, I'm looking you in the eyes, you're not ridiculously short," or even better, when I was outright taller than them and they had no idea. It was kind of hilarious how much I had messed with people's perspective just by having a bunch of tall friends.
In my German elective, the course instructor would often talk about her years back in Germany and how over the years the country has become unsafe because of the Syrian refugees, the discussion mostly being pointed at me. In one of the lectures where she was teaching about German dishes and what they eat, she asked, "Fasten Sie heute? Are you fasting today?" To which I said, "Neen, no." She thought maybe I was just a non-practicing Muslim as it was Ramadan. Towards the end of the course we had to introduce ourselves in about 10 sentences. When she did get to know my name she was flabbergasted and asked, "Aren't you was an Afghan student who never attended the course. She did appear somewhat surprised, nonetheless embarrassed.
I don't know what kind of vibes I give off, but a lot more men hit on me than women.
Because I am Latino, that I am poor.
That I am French. Happened just yesterday. I'm still in shock.
That I'm a fuckboy. I'm very confused cause I try to act like a gentleman, I don't lie to women, and I'm actually awkward AF, but every time I have a good first date, it's always, I bet you talk to a lot of girls, or, how many women have you said this to, or, you're such a wish I got laid half as much as women think I do.
My father had a gun collection, and when he was dying I made sure he knew that the only thing I wanted from his estate was a few of the guns that had caught my eye. There was a Soviet rifle that had never been fired, a 30-30th that I had used for my first when I was a kid, and a couple of shotguns. After he died, my brother and I were at Dad's house trying to sort out all the details when my brother told me that Dad emphatically did not want me to have those guns. When I asked why, my brother told me that Dad was afraid I would move to Montana and join a militia and go down in a hail of bullets and fire like David Koresh. And I could tell from my brother's face that he agreed. I hopped on a plane and flew home with nothing but sadness and frustration. My own father and brother didn't know me at all. Oh well.
That I should like them just because.
That I'm uneducated, dumb, never been out of the country, racist, uncultured, all because I have a Southern. I've lived overseas, visited 47 states, lived in 8, have a geopolitical hobby interest, I work in a very technical engineering field as a consultant, love classical music and art, I'm exceptionally interested in foreign culture, build wood furniture as a hobby, play 2 instruments and love history. But it does come in handy when people underestimate you.
In high school used to say I was going to be the next Columbine, but as an adult people are always shocked when they find out I'm autistic. I always get hit with "you don't look autistic" or "you speak so well."
I mentioned my struggles with ADD and inability to focus at work one day, and many of my coworkers were shocked. Apparently they all saw me as one of the most diligent, focused people on our team. I was like, haha, that's cool to hear, but y'all have no clue how hard I have to work mentally every second of my waking life to accomplish it. Really opened my eyes to how people's perception of you can be wildly different from your own, and their perception and experiences with you are just as real and valid.
I'm a large white guy with a beard living in the southern. Get a lot of large white guys with beards coming up to me and saying very slightly encoded versions of minorities, am I right?
That I probably have fantasized about doing a mass shooting. Okay, I have autism and had many kids bully the outer me, yes. Yes, I was an outcast. But no way in would I respond with mass.
They assume my politics based on my race.
I naturally speak English with a Boston accent. My coworkers are surprised when I can drop my accent for a neutral one during presentations or switch to an English or Irish accent. I also do a pretty good Texas and Scottish accent, but they aren't speak Italian, and Dutch with a native accent. My French and Spanish need work. My Indian is as bad as my Hindi, so it balances. Learned how to learn and train my accent while in college. I took a few voice acting classes as electives so I could read books to my daughter and do all the voices.
IDK, people are always shocked to learn things about me after knowing me for years. I didn't know you smoke. You never told me you were bisexual. If it's not important then I don't talk about it. Man shrugging, light skin tone.
Who the says that? That's so mean.
How do you respond to that? Well, you look like a
Sane started balding, graying at the age of 17. It's slowed down now, but not a lot of hair. Last time I was fit I was told I looked like a mean. They're not wrong, completely wrong on the criminal part. I sometimes speed, jaywalk, pirated games once, skip out on paying for toilet fees, smoked. Pure menace to the fact that I've been told a couple of times that I look like I just stay away from women, ain't going to touch that.
That's a horrible thing to say to a guy. So offensive. People lost all common sense.
Wow, what a whole lot of rumors going on about you. You are living rent-free in somebody's mind, that's for sure.
Greater than apparently I am married. Have 2 kids. Cheated on my wife and am currently engaged to another girl, but my wife refuses to move out. Oh, and there is a student who claims that during all this drama, she has been flirting with Wild.
You've just reminded me of the time I got a call from my mum asking me to explain myself. I'd made the mistake of speaking to a journalist from the Daily Mail who included me in his story along with the fact that I'm married, which came as a big surprise to me and my mum.
I remember hearing that a girl had told people she'd slept with me. I was at the time, and I was just thinking,